Guys ready to try the ramp?
Wow! Woo!
Yeah.
Oh, this is so exciting.
Yeah, Jesse was stuck in the house. We weren't able to bring him outside. He missed school. He missed about 2 weeks of school. Well, he goes to summer school too. And so it might have been more than 2 weeks of school. But yeah, he couldn't go because I had no way to get him in or out of the house. So he was stuck in the house for, it was about a month before they finally came and put it together. I mean, he couldn't even go outside and sit, and so he got to go to school again. And
Jesse was a 16-year-old young man who was missing school because he couldn't get in and out of his home safely. It would take his mom, and then she would have to call a couple of relatives or friends to come over and literally carry the wheelchair out because he had no way to get out.
Yeah, so those were the longboards that we had found at my old apartment.
Mom was taking him up and down the steps on a couple boards, and when we left by the end of the day, we got to see him use the wheelchair ramp, and it's an amazing thing. Everyone needs to feel that. And we're all here to make a difference. We should be here to make a difference, and seeing that, it touches your heart, and you know you made an impact in someone's life.
Community Repair Day started as a day back 25 years ago where we would get as many volunteers as we could on a Saturday and fan out across Grand Rapids and Kent County and try and do as many repair projects and ramp builds as we could. And then it evolved into a season. So we start as soon as the weather breaks in early spring, and we go right until the very end where the frost starts to hit the ground. And we rely on a lot of Home Builder Association builder members who come alongside us and our staff and get as many ramps built as efficiently as possible.
I think we've probably built between 250 and 300 wheelchair ramps, which means a lot of people can be out and about, can be more independent. Many of the ones we've done, it resulted in people being out of their homes for the first time in years.
So I am on the HBA's Community Service Committee with Jeff Peel, and I have been for several years. And we had the opportunity to build this 25th year commemorative ramp for Jesse. And during that time, I learned that Jeff has participated in Community Repair Days since year one, and I thought that was pretty remarkable. Just pure dedication on his part to, here it was the 25th year, and he's been involved every single year.
When I think of Jeff, I think servant leader. People who lead by serving. And when you've been a part of something like Community Repair Days for all 25 years, that's the definition of a servant leader. Yeah, the privilege of working with Jeff on a ramp build this summer. We did a 25th anniversary ramp, and we thought it'd be a great idea to get the executive directors of Home Repair Services and the Home Builders Association out on a ramp. So the privilege was ours, probably not so much for Jeff, as he had to teach us a lot, but it was a really hot day, probably the hottest day of the summer, but it was clear to me that Jeff knew a lot about building ramps, so he's been in the business of selling material, but he clearly knew what to do with material. And he was really had a teaching spirit. So for those of us that weren't as experienced, he not only showed us, but he was very patient and full of grace.
I just want to congratulate Jeff on the award. He's very deserving of it. In the years I've known him, he's always stepped up for community affairs and community repair days or special projects. And as I said, he's a great motivator to get other people involved as well. So I think he's very, very deserving of the award.
they've changed the people's lives. A lot of families they've affected, look how many ramps that they've built. But it's nice that they have that to offer, and they understand, that it's important to be able to get in and out of your house.
So getting these ramps is just absolutely life-changing, and that story, the story about Jesse and the 25th year ramp build is just one of the impactful stories that Jeff has been part of. But, there's many, many, many more that, he has under his belt as being involved for 25 years.
He was always willing to step in.
So we need more people like Tim.